Again, I want to congratulate all three of our awardees tonight and to thank them for living lives that are dedicated to civil rights and civil liberties. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights may be the starting point for all our work, but those words are nothing more than meaningless ink on paper unless someone struggles to make their meaning real. What is at stake in that struggle is more than just an abstract concept. What is often at stake is people's lives. I said earlier tonight that we would come back to the Jason Kemp case, one of the most powerful and important victories of the ACLU of Colorado. I am deeply honored that two of his family members have flown from Georgia to be with us tonight, his father Keith and his sister Leisel, who has offered to share some of their story, reminding us of why this work matters so much. Leisel, would you please come forward?
Thank you, Nathan, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In July of 2010, there was a terrible tragedy in Grand Junction. However, I believe the tragedy began 7 years earlier, when my older brother, Jason Allen Kemp, was arrested in downtown Grand Junction by the Colorado State Patrol. Jason was hog-tied and forced into the backseat of a Colorado State Patrol two-door vehicle when he asserted his rights and refused to blow for a breathalyzer. On July 20th in 2010 in Grand Junction, Colorado, Jason, while wearing only his swim trunks, was shot and killed in his home by the same Colorado State Patrol trooper who had hog-tied him, after he refused to allow them entry without a warrant to investigate a minor traffic incident. Two Colorado State Patrol officers arrived at Jason's door. Jason did not open the door. One of the officers forced Jason's door open. Paige, Jason's dog, ran out the door. Jason slammed the door closed and yelled, "You can't come in without a warrant." Two State Patrol officers kicked in his door and blinded him with pepper spray. Jason asserted his constitutional right and demanded a warrant and slammed the door on them. The Colorado State Patrol then kicked open the door once more and shot Jason at point-blank range in the chest. Less than 2 minutes after the Colorado State Patrol arrived at his residence, Jason lay on the floor of his home, dying. After months of secrets, the DA's office finally filed charges and the murdering Colorado State Patrol officers' names were released. 2 trials were scheduled. One trial was held with an acquittal on a few charges and a hung jury on the rest of the charges. One jury member said that the Constitution was ancillary to the state and with the law in the case. The DA quickly announced there was no possibility of a guilty verdict and dropped all the remaining charges for both Colorado State Patrol troopers. The other trooper never had a day in court. Jason's friends and family devastated by the whole event. To our great fortune, we found the ACLU of Colorado. Praise God. A few months after the incident, while feeling lost and alone, Rebecca T. Wallace of the ACLU agreed the ACLU could help us. With the help and support from the team at the ACLU and the legal team of Baker and Hostetler, the state of Colorado agreed to the largest single financial settlement the state of Colorado ever paid. And more importantly, all Colorado State Patrol Trooper officers must take the ACLU-approved Fourth Amendment training. The Fourth Amendment states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Thank you, everyone who has helped with this call for justice and providing hope when we had none. The officers involved were eventually fired. The Colorado State Patrol is now operating under new leadership. There is more to be done. My older brother, Jason Kemp, was murdered for asserting his constitutional rights. The people responsible for his death need their day in federal court for their actions. A strong message needs to be sent out across the land. We are Americans, and we will not give up our rights. Thank you.